What's up everybody? I'm Steve and welcome to Jerome's Chrome. Over the last week I've done quite a bit of thinking about what I want to do next on the C3, and even though I've had my mind set on getting the firewall painted, I realized there's still a few things I have left to do first. One of those things is this old rusty brake booster. Getting it out will give me complete access to the firewall to get it prepped and painted, and it will allow me to have better access to the wires back in there so I can inspect them and make a decision if they need to be replaced or not. And it will give me just a little bit easier access to get back in here and remove the horn and any unnecessary brackets that I'm not going to be using anymore. I'm not sure if I'm going to clean up this old brake booster and reuse it or not, or if I'm just going to replace it. But the goal for this week is to just get it out of there, inspect the wiring, and then make a decision if I'm going to replace the wiring and replace this brake booster or not. The weather is absolutely beautiful this weekend. I haven't done any wrenching for a week, so I'm excited to get started on this project. So let's get to work. Step one, as always, the PB blast. This job really shouldn't be too difficult. As far as I know at this moment, I think it's just 6 bolts, 2 on the brake master cylinder and 4 underneath the dash. The problem is the location of said bolts. There's these 2 on the brake master, there and there. Not hard to get to, but you know how those can be. They pretty easily strip out. I don't think I'm gonna have an issue with this one though. It looks like it's gonna be okay. The 4 bolts under the dash though, I have my concerns. I know that 2 of them, the bottom ones, apparently aren't that hard to get to, but there's 2 up top that you gotta have swivel head stuff and all that to try to access. So, you know, it's gonna be fun, right? Holy crap, there's like a tarantula on here. Anyway, I brought a wide selection of the, what do you call them? Line wrenches to get this line off here. All right, let's hope for the best on this thing. Hopefully I don't have to, yeah, sweet. Nice. Now that I got it broke free with the line wrench, I'm switching over to a normal wrench so I don't have to, you know, struggle to get it on there every time. I can just boop, boop, boop. Let's see if this one back here is gonna be as easy. Come on, baby. Oh. I think I'm good. It kind of made a suspect noise that I'm not sure about, but all right. We're good there. Just gonna get this off and get right back with you. And free. Both those are out. And the brake fluid dripping out of here is a nice brown color. Not quite sure if this is the same tarantula or a different one. I watched a couple videos on this, and some people will tell you to take the dash out, some people tell you to take the seat out, and some people will tell you to just get in there and get after it. I'm just going to take a peek up in there real quick and just kind of assess the situation and kind of get an idea of what I'm dealing with before I make any of those decisions. Ugh. Gotta get this hat off. I can pretty easily see 3 of them, but there's a 4th one hiding. Now, there's a tick. Really? I mean, come on, insects. Am I gonna have to set off a friggin' insect bomb in here before I go any further? Another thing I noticed is this is unplugged. This is unplugged. Why would these things be unplugged? Okay, let's take a look in here. First of all, the steering column is not bolted to the firewall. It's missing both bolts. That's probably not an ideal situation. But beyond that and up a little, we can see there's one. That's a bottom one. And then on the other side of the steering column, there we go. There's both of them. Bottom, top. That is on the passenger side of the steering column. And then on the driver's side, basically there's the bottom one. And the top one is up in there underneath some stuff. Okay? There's definitely some items in the way. It's definitely not easy access in there. I'm not going to pretend that it is. But I don't think I need to pull out the dash or pull out the seat at this point. The seat, I might. But first thing I'm going to do is just give it a shot, you know, just the way it is and see how much of a struggle that is. And if I'm just struggling and wanting to scream and throw tools, then I'll start pulling some stuff out. But first thing I'm going to do is just knock out the two bottom ones and go from there. I just remembered, there's one more thing that needs to be done to get this thing out of here. There's like a little Clevis pin on the brake pedal that needs to be popped out of there. I'll show you real quick. Okay, that's it. Now this thing came out of here. I'm done. I'm getting a bug bomb. Hey, I don't demand excellent working conditions by any means, but so far in less than an hour, I've run across a tarantula, a tick, several ants, and now a cockroach. And in addition to that, there's a bunch of nasties on the floor that came from underneath the carpet from the last video that I'm pretty sure is mouse poop. So I think I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna go to the store and grab a bug bomb, maybe two, and I'm gonna throw those in there, set those off, wrap it up in the car cover, let this car fog out for a while, kill some bugs, get in there, vacuum out the poop, and then reconvene later tonight in a more sanitary environment. Sounds like a plan. Well, I'm back. It's several hours later. I had to take a shower and get a lot of that mouse nastiness off of my being and head to the store and pick up some bug foggers and some smell fogger, because after it got to be about 90 degrees inside the garage, you could really start to get the smells coming out of the old C3. The heat was really starting to activate it, and you can now smell the smells from several feet away from the car. Whereas when it was cold, I don't know, it was like you could sit in the car and it didn't really even smell that bad. But now it's pretty rank. I'm gonna be real. I stuffed the hole in the firewall earlier with a moving blanket, and I got the car covered to kind of try to keep some of the stuff inside. So I'm gonna throw two foggers in there, one Meguiar's new car scent fogger air freshener thingy. These things work fantastic, to be honest with you. I use these in all my cars about once every 6 months. They're a little overbearing at first, but then, you know, it gets kind of nice. Indoor fogger for use in apartments, attics, basements, cabins, garages, homes, C3 Corvettes. Perfect. I guess I'll start with the air freshener, because if I inhale it, you know, it's less toxic. Maybe, you know, okay. I got an idea. There we go. I have listened to the comments and am now focused on protecting my health more thanks to your advice. Here we are, and here we go. Air freshener. Bug bomb. Bug bomb 2. Okay. I'm gonna come back a little later. Morning. Well, the foggers have had about 12 hours to sit and fester, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this car cover off and hope that this car smells a little bit better. I know that putting air freshener in here is just covering up the nasty smells, and I need to get to the actual cause of the smells and not just cover them up. I know. But I'm hoping that I can just work on this for a day or two and not vomit. That's my goal right now. The air freshener has done its job. There's definitely no smell of anything in there except for McGuire's scent bomb. It smells way, way better, that's for sure. And there's a dead bug laying on the passenger seat. So I think that the double foggage actually made a difference today. So I'm glad I did that. Next thing I'm going to do is just vacuum up everything I can underneath the dash here on the area carpet that I'm working on to try to get that off there. I'm going to throw a little towel down in there and then get back to work getting this brake booster out of the car. Bug bombed, air freshened, carpets vacuumed, moving blanket down. I think I'm finally ready to get started again, pulling out those bolts. I know this is going to be some extremely awkward angles, so I'm prepared with the battery operated ratchet, the normal ratchet, couple of extensions, couple of swivel extensions, this swivel thingy here that is a little adapter, and long sockets and short sockets. So I think I should be good to go with these tools here. Well, I can tell you for sure that the battery ratchet isn't going to work on any of those. Try to get this left-handed. Maybe this way. Oh man. Yeah. Even the easy one's not easy. I'm gonna try this wobble extension just to see if maybe it makes my life a little easier. I would show you what's going on in here, guys, but I mean, I can barely even get in there myself, let alone get in there with a light and a camera. I apologize for the lack of thorough coverage. Nope, can't get that on there. Yeah. Good Lord. Got one. The easy one. Gotten. Get that out of here. We're breathing. We're relaxed. It's no big deal. It's just a couple of bolts. I mean, in the grand scheme of things in the world today, removing 4 bolts is no big deal. So we're just gonna chill out, get back in there, have a good time. Each bolt requires its own special strategy, which is like playing a video game, except for you get a car at the end instead of a video game. Except video games don't smell like mouse feces, so that's one bonus to them. Hey, I got that. This isn't even horrible right here, thanks to the wobble extension. In fact, I just wonder if maybe, let's see here. Come on, get in there. Work for me. Come on, baby, you can reach. Almost. Junk! You finally wobble it and get it into position, and then you hit the trigger and the safety's on. I hate you. Anyway, this hand wrench does just fine. Just waiting for a cockroach or tick or tarantula to just crawl up onto my face right now. I think I got it so I can get it with my fingers now. Maybe if I can reach my fingers in there. All right. Number 2. Halfway there. Whew. This job will make you sweat when it's 91 degrees in the garage. Having fun. Good time. I don't know if it's common knowledge or not, but just in case it's not, pro tip, makes it easier to put these stupid gloves on if you blow in them first and kind of give them a little expansion. All right, 2 bolts down, going in for a 3rd. This is gonna be one of those top ones. I think what I'm gonna do is 2 extensions, the bendy joint thing, and then a socket. Try to get some video of this.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Shh. I don't either. I definitely don't understand. So the bolt I'm trying to get is up in there. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. It's way up there. There's no way I can get anything in there. Well, I don't know. What I'm trying to get at is that I'm going to try to not get all the way back in there. See if I can get this situation to reach back in there and get that thing for me. So let's give it a shot. Almost. Go in here, put it on with my hand. Maybe. Am I on? Is this gonna work this way? Oh my God, I'm on. Now, will this work? Yes. Oh yeah. No biggie. There's the bottom of the steering column. There's my situation. So yeah, I'm on it, and I'm gonna set the camera down now and get it out of there. Man, this is one of those projects I should have done on one of those days when it was like 10 degrees out or whatever. That would have been a way better day for this deal. All right, maybe I'm free. Let's get in here and... Okay. Whew. 3 down, 1 to go. I'm gonna try the same rig with that 4th one. Hope for the best. There's a lot of stuff in the way on this one, but I did unplug a couple of electrical gizmos. So I do have I'm just being optimistic. This sucks. I'm just gonna get in there and try. Light, just stay there, please. It's not that bad. It looks bad, but when you get the right angle, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Let's do this. God! Contemplating life at this moment. All right, contemplated. I'm dumb. Okay, I'm doing it wrong. I need to not try to get all up in there. I need more extensions and less struggling. Yep, that's it. Fudge. Oh my God, I'm on, but I can't move my arms. I'm stuck. God. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, I think I'm on. I'm just going to randomly turn and hope it doesn't come off. It's off. Yeah. Wow. The socket is currently stuck on the bolt. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, so I'm just going to go in there and try to get on it with this. I think I might have officially found a bolt stupider than the headlight bolts. I think this one might be it. At least with the headlight bolts, I could be right side up while wrenching. I got my socket off at least. I think, after all that the combination to get it off is gonna be socket, wrench, and socket. If this is the combo, I deserve to be made fun of in the comments. I truly, truly deserve it. So go ahead. Couldn't be worse than this. Nope. You can get on it, but then you can't turn the wrench. So maybe small extension with wobble with this. Maybe. Come on, get on there. I know there's no way you can see in here at what I'm doing, but here's a reenactment of what's going on. But with sweat. I really want to try to get a ratcheting wrench on there because I think it might help, but at this point, since the socket is on the bolt, I just don't even want to take it off. I'm afraid if I take it off to try to put on a better option, I'm never going to get anything back on there ever again. And I will have massive regrets that this happened. So I'm just going to keep plugging away. I think I'm to the finger part, but only my fingertip reaches. Yes, it's moving. It's moving. Come on. Oh my God. Thank you. Number 4 is out. What a freaking battle. I think I made that harder than it needed to be. I'm not gonna lie, but whatever. The bolt is out, or the screw, the nut is off. My hand, violently damaged. I probably have all of the mouse diseases. And I still gotta get that Clevis pin out of there. So the Clevis is located up right there. Not horrible. Gotta pop off a little flat piece there and just pull that off the other side, and Hopefully it just slides out of there and isn't rusted in there for all of eternity, creating a multi-hour process that makes me want to cry. Okay, hopefully this will just pop right off. Man, that pedal is pretty rusty. First of all, I can't get the clip off the pin. I'm struggling to pull it off there. And as I look at the pin and the pedal, I'm just like, I don't know if that pin's gonna come out of that pedal. And that situation has got me, yeah, I really don't know how I feel about that. That is a tight squeeze in a rusty situation. Man. Okay, I'm starting to get all doom and gloom, whiny face about a Clevis pin right now. So I think what I need to do is hose that thing down thoroughly with some PB Blast, step away from the car for a little bit, do a little bit of research on how to more easily get that thing out of there so I'm more prepared going into it. Maybe pull the seat out, give myself a little more room, and tackle this when I'm being less of a baby about it. Okay, I let that whole situation soak in some PB Blast for a while. I ate a metaphorical Snickers, and now I'm ready to get back at it a little less whiny pants. The clip really shouldn't be that hard to get off. It's just being a hassle because it's just hard to get under the dash and all. So I'm bringing in a pick, some needle nose, a screwdriver, and the special curvy pliers that always seem to do the job for me. I'm gonna go in there and just spend some time in there trying to figure it out. Calm, cool, and collected. Oh, I got it. I got the clip. The clip is off. I have no idea where it went, but I don't care. Doesn't matter. The clip is off. Now I just gotta hope that that pin is not rusted into that brake pedal. Fingers crossed. Come on. First, let's see if I can give it a little push. Oh, it moved. It moved in there. Oh, that's a good sign. I'm optimistic. Okay, it's mostly out. I just gotta get a little bit more. I can't really get to it, but it's gonna happen. It's going down. I see you. Ha. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. There it is. No big deal at all. Just had to get in there and pull it out. This is the pin that I was struggling to get out of there. It wasn't really I was struggling to get this out of there. I was concerned it was going to be rusted in, but I was being dramatic. The thing was getting the pin. There's that little groove right here, and that pin holder thingy was sitting on there and just did not want to come off of there. I knew it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just really fighting me. Well, I think we're finally to the part to where I pull this thing out of here now, so I'll just give it a wiggle. There it is. Brake booster and master cylinder. What a battle. I say it was a battle, and obviously it was a battle for me, but now that I've done it and I think about it and kind of replay it back in my head, if I was to do that again, it wouldn't really be so bad. I mean, it would, but it would be way less bad. So just because I struggled my way through it doesn't mean that it's really that bad of a job. I could have put a whole lot more time into doing the research to knowing how to get that out a little bit easier. I'm just fiddling, and this time the fiddling kind of came back to bite me on the having a good time factor. But at this point, I'm pretty pumped because it's out, and now I can move forward. It's a couple days later now, and I did have a plan to thoroughly inspect the wires and kind of be like, hey, what do you guys think about these wires? Should I replace them or not? But there's really no question. These wires are shot. This is the part of the harness that connects to the starter, and as you can see, that thing is in pretty rough shape. And I had a short at one point, and I'm pretty sure that these fusible links are shot. Yes, they are. Done for. Look at that. I think it's safe to say that this section of the harness is expired. So the starter harness leads up in here to the main engine harness, which goes off into this HVAC harness, which obviously has some issues. I mean, that could be repaired, but it's just another example of the condition that these wires are in. So main harness going to the driver's side. These are the wires down here that would go into the distributor area. And we got one cut here. This one is all bare and jacked up and just overall not in the greatest condition. And then that leads directly back in there into the fuse box. So these are the wires we were just looking at. Trace them all the way back into here in the fuse box. And then this right here is the wiring harness that leads down to the headlights, the alternator, and everything on this side of the car wrapping around up into the headlight area. There's some general destruction and chaos going on with this part of the wiring harness, and I'll just save you the time. The headlight harness stuff is just absolutely trash. It is bad in there. Like, for example, this is a plug that plugs into a headlight, and then it should have another plug that plugs into a headlight, but instead has this. You know, not the end of the world, but not ideal. Every part of it has at least one random wire hanging out somewhere that's supposed to go to something. So just overall, this whole situation needs to be replaced. And there's also no question that I'm getting a new brake booster and master cylinder, because there's no way that I went through all of that just to get that thing cleaned up, put it back in there, and a couple months into driving it, I have a brake booster issue. I would have to lose my mind. The cost of the brake booster and master cylinder isn't too bad. It's like $300 or $400. I think you can get like a shiny chrome version that's like an extra $100. I think the non-shiny one is like $300 and the shiny one is $400. But the thing that surprises me is the cost of the wiring harness. What? I just looked last night and couldn't believe it. Like, each little section of that wiring harness is like $200 on average. And there's like 5 or 6 sections just in engine compartment area. Man. Regardless, I need the parts. So I'm gonna get the wiring harnesses on the way. I'm gonna get the brake booster master cylinder combo on the way. And while that stuff's coming in, I can finally now start working on doing the firewall painting and doing engine bay cleaning, degreasing, rust removal, and get this all prepped and cleaned up and finally looking good. Also, sometime in the very near future, I'm gonna spend a day trying to get that Impala that's over at my mom's house running, see if I can figure out the overheating issue with that, see if I can sell it and get some money to put back into this car. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but right here in front of me, there are 3 different engines. And one of them is new. So next week, we'll be talking about the 2 different classic vehicles I have that don't have an engine in them, and the 3 different engines I have sitting right here and put together a plan on what I'm going to do next. I really appreciate all the great feedback that I got from last video messing with the other projects, and I appreciate all the awesome comments and awesome advice that I got. Thank you so much. I'm going to get my mess all cleaned up and organized and get started on what I have in store for you next week. I'll see you then.